Hello and welcome to the I'm a Phenomenal Woman Bright Books Tour. I want to thank you for tuning in tonight. Tonight we have a very special guest. Her name is Anissa Hunter. But before we get into that, I want to share with you the importance of I Am a Phenomenal Woman Bright Books Tour. Now this tour is all about highlighting phenomenal women from all walks of life who are doing phenomenal things to contribute to women's history. Now, of course, we know March is a wonderful time that we have dedicated to celebrate women's history all across the globe. And so that's what we're doing. We're celebrating women who are contributing to history by, creating writings, by, doing things in their community and just, making their mark on history, which is all about empowering other people to do greater. Now, of course, to me, being a phenomenal woman means that someone who is fierce, they're owning it, and they're not afraid to achieve and go after the things that they want. So speaking of phenomenal women, I want to introduce you to Anissa Hunter, who's doing phenomenal things, contributing to her community, as well as impacting those who we may never meet in life. So without further ado, I want to introduce you to Anissa Hunter.
Hey, how you doing?
I am well. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Thank you so much for having me.
Of course, you're looking fabulous.
Thank you, girl.
Thank you. So, of course, tell our audience a little bit about yourself and, how you became who you are today.
Well, like she said, my name is Anissa Hunter. I'm from the west side of Chicago. And currently, I just published my first book entitled Kids Don't Come with a Manual. So I'm very excited about that. And it's just basically my journey on raising my three daughters who are now grown. But it's just me talking about, things that worked for our relationship and building it and just basically building our relationship. As well as I'm the owner of This Is Nana Pudding and More, where actually I just celebrated my 5th year anniversary on March 1st. So
Awesome.
I'm so excited about that. Yeah, and I'm a mother of 3.
Awesome. Now, when we first talked, I don't know where I got this from, but I was thinking you were like a banker or something the whole time, like teaching financial literacy.
Well, you know what? I come from payroll and human resources, so maybe, I don't know, maybe that has something to do with it.
Right. I don't know. Like, I felt like you were telling me that you were a banker and you were working on some type of project. I don't know. But anyways, okay, so kids don't come with a manual. What age group would you say this book is best fit for?
I would say any age group. Well, we can just, throw out like maybe 7 to even adult. Because, like I said, I'm covering my relationship and just things that we went through and the transitions that I went through with my daughters.
Right.
And so I feel as though it does cover all ages, any parent who really wants to build that relationship with their kids. And even if they're older and you didn't establish that relationship, is ways to go about building that relationship and maintaining it as well.
Right. Now, of course, a lot of people say raising daughters has some real hard challenges. What are some of the things that you cover in the book that, other parents who may have a daughter in the future or maybe raising a daughter may have to face?
You know what? I really want some of the things that I talk about is it's about building that relationship with each other, understanding one another, coming together to talk and communicate, and never shutting down that communication between each other. So I try not to say like who's right and who's wrong, but it's really like understanding one another. And always keeping that line of communication open. And that's something that me and my daughters, we practice, even now. I'm not saying that it's always easy because everyone is different. Everyone has their own viewpoints. But it's just always coming together to communicate, talk to one another, make sure that we understand. And once we do that, we can move forward in our relationship.
Right. Now, social media, there's a lot of barriers that, parents have with trying to keep up with their children on social media and things like that, with pedophiles and all types of people that are on social media who are targeting our youth.
Absolutely.
What are some ways in which you, have found to be, I know you speak of communication, but what are some ways in which you have been able to, build that trust with your daughters, and even be able to, watch some of the things that they post on social media, and maybe some of the people that may contact them as well?
Yeah, you know what? It's just really talking to them and listening, to them. We can't be around our kids 24/7. So only
Mhm.
thing that we can really hope and pray is that everything that we've instilled in them, they'll
Yeah.
keep it and they'll maintain that and they'll use it even when they're not in our presence. Thankfully, I never had issues with my daughters with that. But
Hmm.
I would just say that just some of the ways is to just make sure you're listening to your kids. I know as parents, we always want to do all of the talking,
Right.
but we have to really give them the opportunity to have that space where they can come to us and talk to us and be honest and open with us. And we have to be willing to, when we tell our kids, you can come to me about anything, we have to make sure that we're really practicing that when they do hit us with topics that we may not be ready for, that we can compose ourselves and we can allow them to just, spill their guts out to us and tell us how they feel. So I think that
Right.
that's very important. Just, the basic listening skills, that we have to have as parents.
Well, that is some very good advice, because I'm not a parent yet, but I'll be working on it in the future. And that's some
Yeah.
really great advice for sure.
Yeah.
Now,
Thank
it
you.
sounds like to your daughters, you are definitely a phenomenal woman who's making impact and even changing their lives right in your home. Now,
Thank
for
you.
you, who would you say has been your phenomenal woman in the present, who have possibly in your life growing up, as well as abroad in general?
You know what? I would just say a lot of right now is really a lot of my friends. I'm so close to my friends, and all of them are like phenomenal. Some of them they have like teenagers, and then they have little kids, so they have that age range that they're dealing with. And I would just say to be able to deal with that, they're phenomenal to me. And so
Right.
we really encourage and inspire one another. And I mean, just like talking to you and just talking to a variety of different strong women, that encourages me. I
Yeah.
was just talking to one of my friends yesterday, and she was just telling me about some of the things that she's doing, home ownership and moving forward in her weight loss and things like that. And that really encouraged me and inspires me. So I wouldn't say like it's one person, but it's just a group of my friends,
Right.
Yeah,
Women
they
are
really
doing
inspire me.
phenomenal things. I feel like we always know that we were able to handle a lot of things, but I feel like when we
Yes,
got to the White House, it really took on a whole new perspective.
yes. Oh,
Once a
absolutely.
woman became vice president, I feel like all the women felt empowered all across the globe to do great
Yeah,
things. So I want to
yeah,
back up for a second, because this is your first book, right?
yes,
So
yes.
tell us, like, what made you actually choose this particular topic, and how has your journey as an author been thus far?
It actually, I wasn't even thinking about writing this book. I was just sharing my testimony and my story with someone, and they were just like, you know what, you need to write a book on parenting because your story is amazing to, go from being a wife, and a mother, a two-parent household, to being a widow when your kids were young, and then to, have your kids grow up and they're all in college. And now I'm on to, my personal journey of writing my book and having my own business. They were like, you need to tell that in a book to really, inspire parents. And they were just like, we don't have enough books on the market to, help parents along the way because, yeah, I mean, like I titled my book, Kids Don't Come with a Manual. They don't. And it's so important that, us as parents, we really share what's working and what really doesn't work with each other, to help raise our kids because we're responsible for raising a human being and sending them out into the world. So you can either be sending an angel or like a Tasmanian devil out into the world. So we want more angels. We want more angels. So
Right,
yeah,
totally.
that's how I came about writing the book. And I just titled it Kids Don't Come with a Manual. Yeah.
All right. Now, what are some of the challenges that you dealt with? Because, I run into a lot of authors that say, they went to search for a publishing company and they wanted to get this big contract and all that stuff. Did you go to self-publishing route, or did you go with a publisher or seek out a publisher?
Yeah, you know what? Before I dove into that, I really talked to a couple of people that I knew who wrote books. And I like Googled, I'm like a Google fanatic. Like I will Google everything, Google and YouTube. And I was just like trying to find out what's the difference, what are the pluses, what are the minuses of going that route of self-publishing or getting a publisher. And I did go with one young lady who published my book, and it was smooth. Like I sent her my book in December. And we went through all of the processes of editing and everything. And then my book was out in March.
Oh,
so it was I would just tell people, just do your research first, write your book, but make sure you do your research and find out which way is better for you.
Yeah. Because a lot of people, they think that you can just write something down and then it becomes a sensation overnight. That might be the case for, the celebrities or whatever the case may be, but you really have to take some time and put in some effort with your writing and your work, because you want to put out your best. Otherwise, it just will pretty much be sitting on the shelf. Now,
absolutely.
For your book, where can people find your book?
Oh, my book is on Amazon, it's on Kindle, and it's at Barnes and Nobles.
Do you have a website where people can go find you?
Yes, I'm on Instagram, Anissa K Hunter, ANISSA K Hunter, HUNTER. You can find me on Instagram. So they can either get copies on Amazon, Barnes and Noble, or Kindle, and then they can also reach out to me on Instagram if they would like a signed copy. They can get that for themselves.
Awesome. Well, that's amazing. Now, of course, I want to touch on your business a little bit, because you say you celebrated your 5-year anniversary. Tell us a little bit about your business and how you got started.
So I started my baking business 5 years ago. And actually, even before then, I would just make banana pudding, and like my family loved it. People loved it, like at my job. And that's just what I was known for, like the banana pudding lady.
Right.
And then when my oldest daughter got 19, I was like, I want to make her a special cake, a decorative cake. And when I made that for her, I was like, oh my God, that was like so therapeutic in making that cake. Like I really enjoyed doing it. And that's actually how I got started with my baking business. Just by making my daughter, a cake, doing something, blessing somebody else, I in return got blessed with the whole business. And so with my baking business, I make everything from peach cobbler, banana pudding, cakes, pies, taffy apples, taffy grapes, brownies. I know, right? I do balloon decorations, street tables, frames. Yeah, I'm like a whole party supply, party supply.
So are you basically shipping across the country, or are you just focused on west side of Chicago, or just Chicago in general?
No, well, in terms of delivering, I deliver in the Chicagoland area and surrounding suburbs. I do have some items that I ship. I can't ship everything. Like I can't ship like a big 3-layer cake, but I do ship things like cocoa bombs, pretzel sticks, cake pops, like things like that. Yeah.
Right. Now, where can people go and order and just, touch bases with you if they want to support your business?
Yes, they can go to my Facebook. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Snapchat. I'm at Nissa's Nana Pudding and more. And they can also reach me at 773-678-0367.
Awesome. Anissa, you're such a joy to talk to. I really had an awesome time with you today.
Thank you.
Of course, I'm going to be, spending more time with you, as you'll be on my radio show on iHeartRadio, of course, where we'll be talking to the whole entire country as well as internationally, sharing the tools that you offer to the world and everything that you're doing to impact people that you may never even meet, but you're impacting their lives through your story, through your testimony. So we appreciate you for being a phenomenal woman, doing phenomenal things. And I can't say it enough. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Do you mind if I show my book real quick?
Sure, definitely show your book.
I just want to make sure that people get the right book. It's Kids Don't Come with a Manual by Anissa Hunter.
I love it. I love your cover too.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Awesome. Make sure you go out and support Anissa Hunter. She's on Instagram at Anissa K Hunter. Check her out. She's doing phenomenal things. And as you heard, she has a great testimony. And as we all know, kids don't come with a manual. We have to figure it out ourselves. So check her out, of course, go support her. If you need more information, you can always inbox us on Bright Books, and we'll be sure to connect you with Anissa Hunter for her books, or even some banana pudding or some cocoa bombs or pretzels.
Some peach cobbler.
All I know is just hit us up, and we'll be sure to connect you if you can't find her on Instagram yourself. So thank you so much for tuning in tonight to the I Am a Phenomenal Woman Bright Books Tour. Stay tuned because we have more coming up at 7:45. Thank you. Y'all have a blessed evening.
Thank you.